This guy was on tons of webcamming profiles. And the thing of it is, he got it in his head that he could make his wife do sex acts that I wouldn't agree to. No, I don't have to agree to such things. Extortion's extortion. You aren't going to extort me. Do you understand that, Shane? Yes. They've also tried to make people think that I had borderline personality disorder and all kinds of different stuff. And I don't. I've been harassed for having ADHD. ADHD does not mean delusional. It does not mean psychotic. So this asshole threatened suicide. Police tried to write up a report to make it seem like it was my fault, although he destroyed the house and all the stuff he done, because he was pissed off because every time he gets caught cheating, he threatens suicide. Every time. So they tried to make that stuff seem like my fault. He has 2 cops pick him up. He disappears. He claims that he is in Owensboro Behavioral Health. I show up there. They told me, he said he's unemployed and has no health insurance. I said, what are you talking about? He was still in his work uniform, which he has on now, although they changed it. It used to be a gray shirt with yellow stripes. And, they started proceeding to do all these crazy making tactics on me. Owensboro Health in the emergency room, because right after that, our daughter petitioned to try to make it seem as if I was nuts. So right after that, I get 2 injections put in me, Benadryl, something else. And they gave me 2 more injections, but they did not document them. Owensboro Health didn't document the injections I was given. They have refused to be confronted with it ever since. They refused to tell me what it was. So anyone implying I did all this to myself, Shannon, no, I didn't do this to myself. And, Owensboro Health tried to convince me that I wasn't allowed to record in conversations and stuff like that. Yeah, I am. And I know what it boils down to is a conversation between me and a lawyer once. I was supposed to be bringing someone else in to be questioned. I got a subpoena. They didn't question them, although it said on the subpoena they were going to. They questioned me instead. Pretty odd. And yes, and I know where my husband had my college stuff wrote down, the paper you wrote down on, still here, with all my security questions and all that stuff. So, whatever my husband was doing, he kind of had it in his head, because he started making it out as if I was a dog all the time. I was getting petted like a dog. Always making jokes as if his wife was a dog. Trying to convince people that I thought I was a werewolf. I don't believe in werewolves. I love folklore. I love ghost stories, all that stuff. But that does not mean I believe in all that stuff. But as far as all this goes, I had a digital recorder. My husband, he can be heard on the digital recorder, all this stuff. And he was taking all these things, and I found this software on his phone where he was actually letting doctors and stuff listening to me from somewhere else.
No, I wasn't.
Yeah, you are. Wouldn't you? I didn't make any such agreements. I didn't make any such agreements. But I found out that for years, my husband and other people was trying to make people believe I was schizophrenic. And I'm not. Never been diagnosed as such. I don't hear voices, all this stuff. So as I'm looking through this medical chart, these doctors that tried to make me seem, first, they wanted to say I was delusional. The emergency room doctors did. And then they put on a medical chart later that I'm not psychotic and I'm not delusional. So in this chart, they are constantly contradicting themselves, because I had Owensboro Health print the chart out myself. So they're doing all this stuff. And the thing of it is, no, I've never been schizophrenic. Don't have any schizophrenic people in my family. It's been a consistent diagnosis of ADHD since I was a kid. But maybe they wanted to make it seem that way because they didn't want people to believe what they did to me. And as far as my husband trying to force sex on me, my husband did try to force sex on me. And no, Julia's never had sex with a canine. Never had sex with anyone's pets. So I saw this stuff as if someone was going to try to make me prove everything to them. No, no one had the right to try to harass me, to try to make me prove anything. That's just flat out fact. And they were trying to make it seem as if I was violent or something. There is no violence on my criminal record. None of that. Never laid a hand on my mother, my father, my grandma, any of that stuff. Not some abuser and beater and all this shit. But they wanted to make it seem like it was to justify themselves. They tried to say that I said I did meth. I never said such a thing. I don't do methamphetamines. I have over 7 years worth of drug tests. There's not methamphetamines on any of them. Because I don't use methamphetamines. Not an illicit drug user. But I guess my husband here and whoever else was helping him out was looking for any excuse. So they've just been grabbing at straws looking for any excuse. Also saw where it showed up as if my residence was on this place called Grab Road in Greensburg, somewhere I've never lived. But his family did. Never lived in Greensburg. Never lived in Greene County. But his family did. I don't know any of their information. Didn't have anything to do with their finances. None of that. But I guess they were looking for excuses.